talking about your big-titted aunt. Your big-titty aunt.
That is great. That's great that you are so out of touch. What about me being 99% great and 1% evil? Okay?
Get the mic in your face, you
I just don't get this part anymore. You know, just give him a call. I bet you he will do it.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing the subtle thing and I went to, I'm dying. I can't do this gig no more. I've tried everything, Richard. I've been in it for 20-some years and it's not fucking working. Can you help me? He's like, we're gonna let you out away from the hotel. You're gonna walk from the street. You're gonna walk from the street, okay, bud? You're like, he didn't give two shits.
No.
You're gonna walk.
No. Okay. He doesn't look like he would give two shits, let's be honest.
At that time, are we on?
We're on.
Yeah, at that time, I think it was 2003 or 4.
Wow.
So it's been 17 years since I've seen Richard Lewis.
Fucker.
In the back of a limo. Or anywhere, actually. But it was a great gig. John Panette was supposed to be the guy that was on stage. I think that's when he died.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I was coming in to fill his shoes.
And then you're just like, what about me? Like, the comic's dead, and you're like,
right.
Can you help me out?
Well, I had no idea. It was for Gilda Radner's cancer. It was a Gilda Radner's cancer event. They have this thing called.
It's like the only time you can't be selfish, and you're
right.
Like, come on, man. What about
I'm
me?
like, what about me? Where's my little dog that you give away to everybody? Don't I get one? Like they're giving these stuffed animals away.
Yeah.
And I took like 4 of them. I got 3 kids and a wife.
Paid.
Right. I'm not getting enough for this gig. I know I'm not getting enough for the gig.
Yeah.
Because Panette was before this, right?
Yeah.
And they called me that morning. This is how I had always dreamed of getting big gigs.
Yeah.
Is
you just get a phone call?
You know, Letterman is panicking. For some reason, Bob Saget is stuck in an elevator.
Yeah.
And I just happen to be in a building on an NBC tour. And I overhear, like Paul Schaefer. Yeah. I see him and he goes, yeah, I don't know what the fuck we're going to do. We're 1 comic down.
And then you just come
out. And I go, I know some jokes. Can I do? Are you shitting me? You know jokes? And they bring me up to David's whatever, and they throw me on camera and they go, thank you for saving our asses.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I got.
And you bomb for 15 minutes straight.
No, that's not in the. That's not the dream.
Who is this guy? This guy's
no,
a
they didn't get a chance to check my material.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Not at all. No.
That's the big problem.
I hope we got some contractors in the building tonight.
He said, "Wait, what's some more? Why is he doing mortgage jokes?" No, at that time I probably I don't think I had that, but I was also doing. I probably was doing some inappropriate Italian and Hispanic jokes. Something they wouldn't have wanted on. I would have been in the realm of, who's the guy that they would not release his material? The famous comic that died from lung cancer.
Oof.
God bless him. What's his name? Somebody who's listening in Romania, please add a comment to our podcast and tell us who that comic was. Bill
Hicks?
No, Bill Hicks. Yeah. There he is. Yeah.
He had like a rare pancreatic cancer, I think.
They wouldn't allow him to, they didn't air his episode for 20 years or something like that?
Yeah, because he's like real heavy. It's almost not stand-up.
Oh, it wasn't funny?
I don't even know if it's not funny. It's like Bill Hicks was like so...
Screamy?
No.
Like the yell?
No, he did like, he had a lot of social commentary on shit and shit that was uncomfortable for...
It would have fit today. Today it would have fit.
Today, oh yeah, people would have ate it up.
Back then, we wanted someone to do the surreal comedy. Someone to do something that wasn't.
We wanted John Panette to go up there and talk about how fat he was.
He was funny, though.
It was funny.
Fucking
but
funny
Jesus Christ,
shit.
You never heard anything but it, you know? It was just a lot of fat jokes. And
that was a niche.
Italian jokes. And
it's a niche. I don't know. It's interesting to do gigs with very famous people. Either they're going to be very nice or they're not going to talk to you at all.
What do you like? I'm such an asshole though. Like when people don't talk to me, I just start like I'll just be annoying.
I just sit in my room and look at myself in the mirror.
Really? I like to be annoying.
I just put the lights. I have all the lights around me, those bulbs, and I stare in the mirror, and I pretend I'm.
You have a mirror?
Yeah, it's in one of the. If you're with a famous person,
you get a mirror.
If you're in like if you're doing Ruth Eckerd or Van Weasel, one of the bigger halls,
yeah, you get. Like
you have a dressing room.
That's nice.
Which I'm imagining has flowers and chocolates and like catered food. When other people, not for me, I get it like it's pre-construction. Yeah. Like, oh, we're going to clean it now.
Like, oh, he's the construction comic. He can build the rest of this room.
Right. He doesn't need all that. And it's my fault because I go, oh, I don't need the big, room with the mirror. You can give me I get change in my car.
See? Yeah. Oh,
right. So, and then I become the sad clown instead of the funny clown, and I sing Pagliacci, the opera. And then I'll tell you what's intimidating. Try doing, 2,500 people at Van Weasel, right before Engelbert Humperdinck. That is not easy, man. Engelbert, when he sings After the Lovin', you haven't heard the song? No. He's probably 90 right now. Michael Bolton, have you heard of him?
Oh, yeah.
I did. I opened for him. He had about 2,500. You walk out there.
Why do they bring you out? I don't get that. Why do they need a comic to open up?
I don't know. Some people prefer comedy than another singer. They just want to have more of a variety show, warm up, make them happy.
Doesn't step on their toes.
Yeah, you're not going to outshine them. Yeah. It's like me doing if I had a big comedy show with 2,500 people, my opening act would be like some guy that maybe juggled hula hoops or something not comedy wise. Just some guy that painted, and then would flip the painting upside down and go, "Oh my God, it's the Statue of Liberty!" Because that was my other act that opened for me with Lewis. So I don't think you want competition. You want something. You want something else.
You do want something. You want something to push you to give you a better show.
Not if you're the king. You don't bring in the pre-king. Hey, before the king, we got King of England's gonna open up with fucking King of Scotland.
No, yeah.
Well, no, because King of Scotland might be so good.
No,
they're gonna say, why is he not the King of England? Right, and then you lose your position.
No,
imagine if Michael Bolton didn't realize I had a voice, which I do, and I started singing my Pagliacci song, my opera,
and then everybody's crying.
Mi Pagliaccio. And he'd be like, wait, we heard a comic, didn't we? And he'd be hearing my beautiful operatic voice.
And he starts to cry. One tear comes down his face.
And then they just give me a standing O. And then they go, and now Michael Bolton. And then was like, no.
Yeah. Has that ever happened, though? Ever?
Probably.
I mean, there's definitely stories of, like, bands that just, like,
hell yeah,
destroyed before the headline.
Right. Yeah. Led Zeppelin opening for Aerosmith.
Really?
No.
That feels like it's way off.
Almost the same time frame.
No, it sounds like a couple 20-year difference, almost like a 10-year difference.
No, Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic, or Rocks
was in the 60s.
1973.
Okay,
was their first breakout albums. 72. So they must have had some other pre-breakout stuff close to the time of when Pink Floyd and. Who are the other bands that freaked me out? Led Zeppelin, Ozzy was out at that time.
Man, that's gotta be
Black Sabbath. Yeah. Those bands scared the fuck out of me because I was used to listening to sad songs of the 70s that my mother had in the house. She didn't have any of that. And I didn't have an older brother where I could learn music. I had older parents that were listening to, like songs from the 60s, like the Four Seasons. Walk like a man, talk like a man. See, Michael Bolton, he's lucky I didn't fucking try to sing.
No, I mean.
But I was listening to that sad Al Green.
Yeah.
Show and tell, just the game I play when I want to say.
This is karaoke now.
Right? I'm just saying that's the kind of stuff. I wasn't hearing a whole lot of love.
Yeah.
That was scaring me.
Yeah.
I didn't know what a Led Zeppelin was. I was taking everything literally. I go, how does that get in the air?
I can always tell you ran out of things to say when you attempt something.
What is a Pink Floyd? Why is it pink, man?
Pink Floyd was named after 2 jazz musicians.
And then I was upset because lead was spelled without an A. I'm like, no, they're teaching us to spell correctly.
Lead.
Yeah.
I
So
thought lead was just LED.
not if you're talking about something that is metal, made out of. Is lead a metal or is it some kind of compound of metal? It's an actual metal.
Thank you, Donnie.
I'm just saying.
Donnie didn't even have to type anything.
Daddy's all pissed off. He's
his lead metal. It's a metal.
Daddy's like, why doesn't he know what metal is?
Yeah,
Because it's soft.
How does Carmen not know what metal is?
I know lead. Yeah, isn't lead a compound of multiple things though?
I think you just like saying the word compound.
Well, it's yeah.
That's what I think.
Bronze is a compound of multiple things.
Oh, bronze is, but it still would be considered a metal. Yeah,
I mean,
so don't even
made
get.
of metal.
This is how great this podcast is. We go from talk about entertainment to scientific information that people can use.
Nobody can use this information.
Tell me how you can use this in your day-to-day life.
We've just confused people, actually, at best.
I think I don't know. Because, a lot of people don't even know that metal exists, number one, right? They're like, if you try to...
Like 3-year-olds.
Well, they don't. There's adults who would be like, I don't know what that's made out of. I go, it's metal. Okay. Well, what kind of metal is this can made out of?
Tin.
First of all, I didn't know there was metal, and now I don't know what this metal is. No, it's not tin. See? He's so wrong. It's aluminum.
Oh.
Cans?
Yeah.
Like,
Not pork and beans. Oh, I thought you were
I
thinking about beer. I thought
You got so excited.
Not pork and beans. No.
That's exactly what I meant.
his face was pork and beans the whole way. It's like,
thinking
oh, wait,
pork and beans.
I'm thinking pork and beans.
You're thinking Sprite.
Yeah. Something good.
Something good.
Right. If I'm going to get a metal can of something, I don't want to fill with like cold beans. It's hot here. Could you imagine popping a can of cold beans?
You'd be such a degenerate if you were just like, let's eat out tonight.
Oh, just slobbering all over your face, like Anne Margaret did in Tommy.
You just chuck it.
I almost want to do that now. I just want to bring out beans with me.
You got to dress completely white.
I do dress
White?
completely white.
Not like a white person, but white outfit.
Oh, okay.
I dress white. No, not a race outfit. This is my race outfit. No, I'm talking about, the color white.
Yeah.
Did you see Anne Margaret and Tommy? Did you ever see Tommy?
Tommy Boy?
No. Tommy from The Who, the band The Who. Same time frame as Led Zeppelin, which, again, confusing me. Why are they using a question for the name of the band? It scared me.
The Who?
The Who. I'm like, that's fucked up.
Drugs. They use a lot of drugs.
But you're 10. You don't know this.
Yeah.
I was in Cleveland. There was no drugs.
Yeah, that's fair, actually. I believe that, honestly.
Okay. I was in a weird neighborhood, industrial neighborhood that I lived in. We'll talk about that later. But the whole thing is, well, who lives in an industrial neighborhood? Huh? You're supposed to live in a resident. It wasn't in the fucking suburb.
I see you like living in the house.
I lived around
Fight Club.
What I lived around was scrapyards full of metal. That's where I fucking lived.
God, your life is Fight Club. You're Tyler Durden.
I lived around packs of wild German Shepherds. That's what was roaming my streets.
Wild German Shepherds.
Wild German Shepherds.
Who has the money to let go of a German
no.
Shepherd?
Back then, German Shepherds were the cheapest fucking dog you can buy.
Really?
There were no buying of dogs. They just bred each other on the streets. It was just constant breeding. It was like you'd see squirrels today. It was just German Shepherds. They're everywhere.
Shepherds.
Yeah. And if you didn't know how to handle
no shit.
a German Shepherd,
the smartest dog there is.
Right. So you had the
Packs of them?
Packs of them. I couldn't get home. I couldn't get home. I couldn't.
That's a problem. Like, that's a real community problem.
Right. And I was always walking by barbed wire and big fences, so you can't even escape the shepherds. You got to climb that fucking...
You're just being shepherd.
The jail was on the outside. I lived on the outside of where everyone else wanted to be in. You understand? I lived by
so you were in prison,
factories.
Yeah.
It was like, no, I was surrounded. My neighborhood was surrounded by TRW and these big factories in Forest City and these fucking junkyards and major boulevards and railroad tracks. That's where I lived. The school was like inches from all that. So we were out there, right, on Blacktop, being chased by German Shepherds, trying to figure out who the Who was. What's the Who and why?
Oh,
I was having a hard enough time with Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. And then hearing Ozzy stories about biting heads off of birds, that was all scary. It was real and scary. But the Who came out with Tommy. And look, I think my father, why would you bring a young kid to that movie? You know, and when Anne Margaret was sitting
Your father has done many questionable things. And this is where you draw the line. Like, what about the part where he's like, go play in the hole in the basement? That was fun. That was good fashion fun.
Yeah, that was like, oh, we have a swimming pool. But
it takes you to a movie. You're like, this is intense, Dad.
The movie had Anne Margaret all in white, watching television, and she's looking hot.
Beans?
She's like, no, the TV explodes, and pork and beans start coming out of the TV, and then she's like in all the, and she's in her whole apartment's white.
Oh my God.
And she's dressed in white, and she's covered from head to toe, and she's like playing with them. It's so disgusting.
Why was it? Was it just disturbing?
Ask the Who. Ask fucking Roger Daltrey. That's what I'm saying. How is this entertaining for a child who doesn't even know? I don't know anything about sex.
Yeah.
And she's all sexy. And I go, oh, so this is how you get a hot chick like Anne Margaret? A lot of cleavage there filled with pork and beans.
And you're just dumping pork and beans on
Yeah,
chicks
what's so great about this? Yeah. Why are we so in love with this?
Yeah.
But that was the weird thing about the 70s. You just never knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, you guys were kind of out there.
Yeah, everything was weird. In transition.
Yeah.
I know we have our transitions now, but we had transitions constantly. You know? Everything always changes. That's the thing.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's always changing. Can I keep up?
I miss the 90s. That's when I was born.
But you were born, so how did you really know about them?
I don't know. I remember being like 97.
Like, I don't miss the 60s.
Like 97 to like 2000.
Is your time.
That was my favorite. Yeah, because like, I don't know. As a child, I didn't like, not a lot was going on in my world where I was like no responsibility. But I just remember I liked the feel back then. I was like, I like the vibe. And then somewhere in like 2002,
like,
I was like,
the vibe of your bedroom?
No, just like
the living room you were in?
The world.
Like you were hanging out in the world?
Yeah.
Like you were 7.
Yeah.
I mean, what vibe were you getting at 7 except
I was getting like
brownies? These brownies are...
I was a smart 7-year-old, dude. I was like...
We're at Publix.
Yeah. I could spell Publix at 7, okay?
Here's where I'm saying. Your mom's bringing you to Publix, right?
Yeah.
At about... I'm guessing at about...
Albertsons, actually.
All right, at Albertsons. I'm guessing about a year and a half, you can't sit in the little baby seat no more.
This is what we're worried about.
In the cart. So now mommy's got Mike in the cart itself. We need 2 carts.
I have my own cart.
This is before they put the little car in front of the cart. Right. Mike's in the fucking cart.
His legs.
And they're just feeding him through every aisle because I love the vibe in here. The samples that Albertsons is giving. Are those king crab legs?
They do have samples, yeah.
I mean, what vibe the only thing I could think for you, your vibe started in the 2000s. It had to have. Or you were finally old enough to...
Yeah.
You know, when did you go to the bathroom on your own, like a public bathroom?
Oh, like 4.
On your own?
Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah. My dad was just like,
so he's like, you go in the bathroom.
I saw Aliens when I was like 11.
Real aliens?
Like the movie.
Oh, I was gonna say because that scared me.
Specified. Yeah, you were like, whoa.
I was like, okay, so now we have to talk about something else.
Now we're back to fucking weird. No.
He's like, oh yeah, you know what? They don't appear no more, but I saw them when I was 11. And I tell you what, at that time, that was when my life was at its best.
It was the
I saw
shit.
a fucking alien. I saw God. God came down and talked to me.
They just gave me LSD as a kid. It was great.
Fucking
No,
aliens.
but I saw like a lot of like, I don't know. I was cursing when I was like 12, you know.
That's late. That's late in life.
Fuck you.
Yeah, a little late in life.
Yeah. But fully understanding like what the...
It would be nice if we could just have fun and, you know, is there a possible way of having you being raised by my father and I get raised by your dad?
No, dude, I don't want to get chased by German Shepherds. I'm gonna be real. That doesn't sound like a vibe at all. That sounds fucking awful.
I mean, that's what the 70s were.
That's so ridiculous.
It wasn't a father thing.
My favorite part is like, there's always like those comics or just anybody who's like, back in my day, and they'll just start listing off shit, and I'm like, yeah, we've improved clearly. Like, what are you saying to me?
I gotta tell you something. There's wild dogs somewhere
Yeah.
in this country, still roaming.
Now they're just coyotes.
They're still roaming. You know, you saw a lot of people. There weren't a lot of rules. I guess is what happened was like chaining your dogs or keeping your dogs inside.
Clearly, people just like letting Wolfie go.
There was no commercials for dog insurance.
There was no dog insurance.
No, it was like, and no one was buying dogs.
Yeah, that's another thing. People just had dogs.
You get dogs.
You just fucking
You acquire an animal.
just had them. Yeah.
Never saw a leash,
Yeah.
a nice leash. We had
Yeah.
ropes. We'd make It was, when you ever watched The Little Rascals from the 30s, it still was like that in the 70s. It's only a 40-year time frame.
Yeah, if you think about
I'm
it.
talking about now from the 70s, it's 40 years, right?
Yeah.
40 years prior to when I was a kid was the 1930s. That seemed like, what? That's way crazy time, right? That was,
Yeah.
plus it's
The
all in black
war.
and white, right?
Yeah.
It's all in black and white.
Radio.
Well, just poverty in general. Heavy poverty. Like dust.
Yeah.
Like constant
Yeah.
dirt roads everywhere.
The Dust Bowl, man.
There's no roads, there's no cars, it's just structures that are about to fall apart. Spanky and alfalfa kind of shit.
Yeah.
70s, completely different.
Right. Everything's rebuilt.
Everything's built.
Industry's booming.
Everything's built. You have all kinds of stuff to do. You are way better off than you were in the 30s. You had money compared to the 30s, which, again, if you asked me if I had money in the 70s, no. But if you asked me, was I better off than the 30s? Hell yeah. Now, if you ask me if I have money in the 2000s, people say, no. Are you better than you were in the 70s? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Try to go on the street. You can go on the street now and feel
They
safe.
wrangled in the German Shepherd.
They've captured all the shepherds,
Yeah, now they're the most expensive dogs.
and now they sell them. Like if I would have known that was a business, I would have captured those fucking things back then and sold them.
Started breeding German Shepherds.
Yeah, I got like 6 shepherds, man.
Oh my god, so you have to just like Mad Max, just wrangling in shepherds on your fucking sports car.
I was walking home. I got in a fight with my cousin. He lived 10 miles from me.
Frankie?
Michael.
Fucking Michael. I didn't even know you had a cousin Michael until
Frankie's
this very
brother.
moment. You never mentioned this guy.
Well, Michael is the one
Which one
that's.
is he? Hold on. I wanna
He's
stop.
Michael's not up there.
Oh, damn
That's
it.
old people up there.
Okay.
The current. This is Frankie and his crew, but the Michael he was more of my brother, right? Because we were the same age. We did everything together. Frankie and Mike never got along. So my choice was when I went to their house,
Yeah.
do I hang out with Frankie or do I hang out? You couldn't hang out with both.
Jesus.
So I was in the middle.
Yeah.
I was always trying to get everybody. Hey, let's go golfing. I'm not fucking golfing with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Mike's like, he's an asshole, right? So then then we would go, and about second hole, someone would throw a golf club, hit a tree, it would snap in half, bounce back, and hit the person who threw it in the head. And that's how almost every encounter ended with
They
them.
just always fought. Yeah.
Always fighting. To this day,
Yeah.
they're still the same people.
Something happened to them. Like something caused
competition
that
within the
initially.
family.
No, there was a break. There was a psychological break in that family.
Someone pitted one against the other.
Something happened, yeah. Something that they won't talk about, they won't speak of, but
Yeah.
something happened.
And I really can't either.
What if it was you? You caused it this whole time.
Maybe it was him. They blame Carmen. Yeah, they always blame me for everything anyway.
Yeah.
But I ended up walking from where they lived down to where I lived, and that's when this German Shepherd encounter happened. And I was like, I was on the opposite side of the street. And I was like, I hope this dog don't fucking see me,
Yeah.
right? Because there were several German Shepherds in the neighborhood,
Yeah, yeah.
and this thing saw me, and I just froze. I stood there, I let it sniff me, and then I was actually getting very confident with the shepherd,
Wrong move.
as if I was in, nature.
You're in this industrial park.
There's nobody. I was in a if you knocked on a door, by the way, in that neighborhood, they'd be like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah.
Like, leave us alone. It was all industrial, all fence. You couldn't get into that area. You couldn't get into anyone's houses. I just was determined to keep walking very slowly, and this thing followed me home. I thought I was going to keep it, but he wouldn't have that. When I got to the house, I think I named it. I did the right thing for a small kid being terrified by a German Shepherd.
Conquered your fear.
Yeah.
And then your dad shot it.
The story was my father actually killed a German Shepherd with his bare hands. That was his story that attacked him.
In war.
No. This is another German Shepherd attack.
Just down No, just because you're a psycho. Okay.
No, it's another one of these random shepherds in the streets that was attacking.
You guys have really bad history with shepherds. Jesus Christ.
They're scary dogs if you don't control them,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So the story was, and then I couldn't live up to the story. I didn't kill the shepherd. I brought it home peacefully. So, of course, I was ousted from the family. That was
Didn't bring back its pelt. Get out of the house.
right.
You failure.
Right. My dad was like, anything happened today? I go, well, I had an encounter with a German Shepherd. He goes, did you fucking kill it? I go, no, Dad. I brought it home and I named it. He goes, get the fuck out of the house. You're not a Surisillo.
What'd you name it?
I don't know. Probably something. And back then, I wasn't like the whole, now I got everything Italian now.
Yeah.
Like now is the whole, because I'm trying to remember shit. Back then, everything was Italian.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's names were Italian. All the stores were Italian. All the landscape, everything, you saw that all the time. So you would name it something new, like Spotty. And it wasn't spotted.
No shit. Yeah.
But
Well, that's not a German Shepherd, Carmen. That's a Dalmatian.
I'm 10.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, we did have a dog named Spotty also that escaped.
And got murdered by German Shepherds.
We don't know what happened though. Yes. If I could guess,
He's dead, yeah.
the packs of shepherds.
They welcomed them.
Surprisingly, we went out at night too, because at night that's probably when they really preyed on people. I never thought about that. I wonder what they did in the winter. I never found their lair.
They don't. Dogs don't hibernate, Carmen. Yeah.
These are not normal dogs. They first of all, they produce on their own. They're random. Yeah. I don't know how they're doing it.
Like dogs do. It's a mystery.
They're somehow replicating each other.
They have a science lab, Carmen. That's what they're doing.
They all look the same.
You're like briefing.
They're all be careful.
German Shepherds.
Right, try to be
This is our enemy, fucking soldiers.
Remember how these shepherds operate. They're very covert. They're from Germany. Remember that.
Specifically from Germany.
These dogs somehow knew the tails too, right? Those tails are very long, whippy tails.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dogs that have tails that don't look scary. But a German
I've
Shepherd,
never been scared of a dog's tail. To be real with you.
take a look at that shepherd's tail.
Yeah,
It doesn't have any hair on it. It doesn't.
It's,
Not a lot. It's small hair, short hair. I think they call it short hair.
it's
It's short. It's not. Is it whippy tails?
they're
Or
like fluffy tails.
is it cabley?
They're fluffy. They're not like.
But it.
They're not.
Okay, so some of these dogs were clever enough
To
shave
themselves
off
other
their hair.
dogs.
They shaved that. No,
No,
they
had
knew.
mange and they were about to fuck you up. That's
They knew that if they could get the hair off their tail, and I guess they scraped it against the barbed wire fences.
Sharpened it.
They sharpened their
Sharpened
fucking
the
tails.
Just so they can have one more weapon when it comes down to it.
Oh fuck.
Oh man.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be normal to see any other dogs roaming. I don't think. Like you couldn't see that with Labradors doing. You didn't see a bunch of labs
Oh, that'd be adorable.
hanging out right by
I
railroad
can't
tracks.
imagine like a mean Labrador.
No. Shepherds look like they fit within grime and dirt because of their color.
Yeah.
You know, so they blend into a railroad track or old railroad, a rusty,
They have
rusty.
natural camouflage.
Right.
Men.
They're urban dogs. They can handle the street. They're army.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They're very army-like.
They're military dogs.
I'm not saying they're angry because they probably are not all angry. I don't know. But I know the police will train the German Shepherds in German.
Yeah.
They will actually use German.
Yeah. Yeah. Signals.
I got stuck.
They use German.
They use the language,
There you go.
the German language.
The German
I was going to say Deutsch because I'm so in
You speak
tune.
German.
Yeah. That's what I was really surprised when I actually heard a cop talking to a German Shepherd in German. I'm like, what's the point of that? Why can't we use English on the...
Yeah.
They learn better.
What if we used Italian, a love language?
That dog's gonna turn on you, dog.
You know, some type of mi dispiace.
Yeah.
Mi dispiace. You know, or which is I think I'm
It
sorry.
would take forever
To
just
get
to
the
say
dog.
roll over. Like it would be so many fucking.
You have a dog?
Syllables. I did. Yeah.
What happened?
It.
A German
died.
Shepherd?
No. Fucking.
Huh?
No.
I thought maybe you had a story.
No, I didn't have a German Shepherd story. I like German
Okay.
Shepherds. I've had nothing but good experiences with German Shepherds.
Well, I've had a dog since
Actually,
1992.
I can honestly say a dog's never bit me. Like, really.
Oh, really?
Like, never, like, really actually bit me. Yeah.
Nah, I got bit by a poodle.
Fuck those dogs.
Yeah.
All right. Poodles
A
are
little
dicks.
yappy little bitch white poodle
Yeah.
came at me.
Did you kick it?
The little white dogs. I don't like little white dogs. You know that.
Yeah, you have a whole.
I have a whole thing against little white dogs. But I've had dogs for at least 30 years now. 28 years. No, more than that, right? Over 30 years. And these dogs that I've had, you can speak to these dogs. Like I made a video where my dog was my life coach. It's a little weird, but they will listen. The dog seems like it's listening.
Yeah.
I mean, people really do believe in their dogs and talk to their dogs. Like if I have my dog with me, I'm rapping with the dog. I'm talking to him. It's just like having another human that doesn't pay attention to me anyway. And he's not getting what I'm saying, but he's actually looking at me, which is better than half the fucking people I talk to.
Yeah.
So he's smart, and I have tried to speak a different language to him, but it's going to take a little bit of time for him to understand.
Yeah.
And it's made up language. It's not even real languages.
It's like you have to fucking figure out.
It's
what
only
it
my
means.
language. It's only my word.
Yeah.
I think that you know when you're hanging out with dogs, you have to be somebody that is I think good people have dogs, right? Can't be a bad person with a dog.
Yeah, you can. I've seen bad people with bad dogs.
If the dog's bad, I mean, if you have a good dog, right? That person's probably good.
So
We could judge people by their dogs instead of
yeah,
judging
because
them by them.
They almost like mimic your personality or
Right.
replicate it.
That's what we should do from now on. We judge you by your dog. Let's stop judging everyone by them and their actions
We judge them by their dog.
and what they say. Like, let them do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But if their dog is amazing, then we have to assume.
This is just a ploy for people to stop judging you because you have an amazing dog. You fucking.
And a nice wife.
It's Kelly's
and
dog.
a good wife.
It's Kelly's dog.
Like, if people go, well, how did she stay married to you? Well, that must say something, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because today it looked like a guy from the member, he looked like a member of the Rolling Stones.
Really.
Was at a garage sale this morning already. Went out there. And he was kind of a strange bird. Had no shirt on.
Yeah.
Tan as fuck. Little pot belly. Had a hat on. He looked like Keith Richards 20 years ago. And then he was like, I paint shirts. I'm like, oh, okay. You want to see it? And then he's like, that left us stuck there for a good 5 minutes because he went into the house to find it. He came back out with a shirt that looked like little Kiss figurine heads on it. And I thought, this is interesting going to these garage sales, meeting strange people, man.
It would have been funny if he came back and he just painted a shirt on him.
It'd be funny to look through the window and he's painting the shirt real quick, like he never had a painted shirt.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, like he just made it up.
Yeah,
while
well, I
talking.
paint shirts, and then he can't get out of it.
Yeah.
And they run to the house, and I'm like, Kelly, he's fucking painting their shirt now.
He is not.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, this guy's fucking crazy.
But I think what brought me to this is what he said. I'll let you have, because I bought a Kiss doll from him. Yeah, I saw it against.
Did he make it himself?
No, it was actually it's pretty cool. It's Ace Frehley. I go, what do you want for the Kiss doll? And he goes, because you have a pretty woman,
Ugh.
$1. And I thought, well, you don't get to do anything with the woman. Why would you give me a discount? Just so you get to look at her?
Yeah.
Like, that was really weird.
Yeah.
But also, it was risky.
Is it weird when people just like openly hit on your wife in front of you?
Yeah, no, it doesn't bother me because I could see that he was a struggler with words.
What do you mean?
I gave him the benefit of the doubt that he meant something gracious.
Right.
He wasn't being creepy. Like today, you can't say anything, or people will go, "That's weird. That's creepy. That's."
Yeah.
What about the people who can't express themselves correctly? That just want to say something and you don't judge them. Did this guy have a nice dog in the house? Is what I'm saying. Why should I judge him by his no shirt, big belly, his Rolling Stones look, his eye paint shirt, little scam that keep us there longer for whatever reason? Whoever went through my van while he was in the house. Well, why would you try to keep me in the driveway? I couldn't see my van. Maybe someone was around the back trying to get into my car.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Now that I think about
Or
it,
he's a creep and he was just trying to say something.
they put a fucking tracker, a GPS on my van, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
They're the ones that are fucking with your sprinkler system.
Or he's a creep, or he's weird.
Or he's just weird, yeah.
But you could see that there was something going on.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to organize a garage sale. I gave him that credit.
Yeah.
So he's a little out of it. He looks a little high. Even early this morning, he looked a little high.
Mm-hmm.
But he was able to get his shit together. And oh, by the way, the yard sale sign was a T-shirt that he painted yard sale on it. I didn't think of that. So yes, he does paint shirts.
Yeah. He's back to creepy. Yeah. This guy's just a creep. That's all.
And he lived probably within 100 feet of the school, the high school.
Now, I don't.
Does that bother you?
That's, yeah, but it super bothers me. Yeah. I can see him just.
People
like,
should know he
his-
lives there.
I can see him just rubbing his belly button.
Right, the
as
hole.
children
Just the hole.
Walk by. Yeah, just this hole.
Oh my God, he lives by all the schools because they're all in one area.
Oh my God, this guy's a menace to society. I also like, I don't know, like, as much as I blame him, as like, I don't, like, nobody was this guy's friend, and he didn't have any good friends to be like, hey man, maybe don't paint T-shirts and maybe lose some weight and
Maybe wear a shirt
yeah,
when you're
maybe
having
wear a shirt.
wear a shirt when you're having guests over to buy your shirt.
You're fucking hairy fuck.
So you think it's a slow deterioration. You lose your
Yeah.
mind slowly over time. He
Yeah.
was okay. People started shying away from him over the years.
I think eventually, yeah, you just don't have anybody to be like, yo, what'd you say to her? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
And then someone goes, you should try the comedy class at
Yeah, exactly.
at the local club.
Yeah.
They can teach you to get into comedy. And then we got another fucking comic on our hands.
I got enough fucking comic.
And he could have been someone simple that painted T-shirts. We could have left him alone.
Listen, this guy's super simple. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Because the shirt looked complicated. The sale was very unorganized, which I don't like unorganized garage sales. If you just dump a bunch of crap onto a table without he didn't separate any of it. I had to put my hand into it to get what I wanted out of it. It was almost like playing a crane game.
Yeah. You
That's
don't
what
know
he was
you're gonna
doing.
pull.
Then he charged me money to play his game, to reach up and take something out.
Oh man, it's weird today though. Like I imagine, like back in the day when you were like a teenager or something like that, there was like a different breed of teenagers, you know, of like, or like even like when you're in your early 20s, you know. I don't imagine you had a lot of like the trauma people. Like right now,
Back, what do you mean?
20-year-olds now are just like can't handle things. Like they literally freak out about like the smallest shit, and they're just like overburdened with so much stress.
Right.
That they've it's kind of like self-employed stress. You know what I mean? It's just very strange to see like somebody that can't handle like.
What if you didn't recognize what you were doing as stressful?
Maybe that's what I'm saying. I think back in your day,
If someone keeps pointing out,
yeah,
that's hard. Or I wouldn't do that.
yeah,
Everybody was doing it. That's the thing. So whatever we think is stressful right now,
Yeah.
back then it was just what everyone was doing.
Yeah, it's just I don't.
So whether it was work or relationships or play or anything, like if you did anything back in the day, just pick anything that we do now. Is eating easier today than it was 40 years ago?
No. Yes, for sure.
It's easy to eat right
Getting
now.
food, yeah.
Getting your food and having your food prepared.
That's what I mean, though. It's like we're pampered.
But we did it through business, right? Business says, oh, I'm going to create a tool. Instead of you hand mixing, I got an electric mixer, right? So you take stress, you took it out to the point where I think, and this has been my kind of general argument, life's too easy. We need some self-imposed pain, right?
Well, that's what's happening. Is these
Create some own, like you said earlier before the podcast started, exercise reduces stress. Why?
Well, you're putting yourself through stress.
You're purposely, voluntarily putting yourself through some type of discipline, and then you receive not only the pain that you receive through the discipline, which is not easy.
Yeah.
You're training yourself. Plus, there is some pride, which is insane.
No, it's
Oh my God, I
it's
dug a
actually-
hole.
It's in the brain though. Like your brain will release dopamine, which is dopamine has all these different like when dopamine goes into your brain or goes into your system, it like triggers all these other things, like a whole variety of things that a lot of people don't know how to like. So some people are like really good at training their brain like that. So it's like
So what you're saying is we stop triggering the dopamine through natural processes. We stop doing stressful things or things that created dopamine pleasure centers.
all I know is that when humans don't have adversity, they create their own adversity.
Right. Of course.
Yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
when everything is given to you and you can get everything but a click of a button, you're gonna start creating drama in your life.
So now I'm going to circle back to my two cousins. And now you tell me what you think went wrong and why they argued.
Ooh.
When they were both 16, they both received,
Wait, they're the same age?
no, but when they turned 16,
Yeah.
one turned 16, then another one turned 16 2 years later.
Okay.
They both had brand new cars.
Yeah.
Brand new.
They didn't have to work.
And not cars that were like entry level. Like Buick had a couple different versions of vehicles, right?
Yeah.
They received the luxury, the highest car in the Buick line, the Riviera.
Right.
They both had it.
They're nice.
My mother, who at that time was probably 36, 34, something like that, was still driving pretty old Ford LTD.
Yeah. Exactly.
Ugly, green, one that you would never want to choose, but there was a cheaper version because no one bought that green one.
Right.
These guys are driving fucking luxury cars around town.
Yep.
What does that do? When you're given so much,
They turn on each other because they don't have really any natural adversity.
and they start looking at you like, well, he got a black Riviera,
Yeah.
and he got, I want the mauve Riviera. And then what happens later on is, and this still goes on to this day, their mom still always had a equal group of, when they all had children, each kid had a Barbie car, one of those cars.
Yeah.
Like I could never afford that for my kids. When my kids were born, they came out with those battery operated Barbie Jeeps.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
Right, that was like more than my car cost.
Yeah.
She had them lined up
Those
at
three
her
car
house. She
payments.
bought Barbie Jeeps, Barbie cars, whatever they were.
And that's what happens.
Each kid had their own because they couldn't share.
And that's what happens though.
What
It's
if you
like,
don't teach sharing?
Well, then you buy 6 Jeeps and you
Like I think I was also told that, and this is going to be controversial if it gets out to the family. I already feel the pressure that they had never bought someone else's car
yeah.
or lived in someone else's house.
Right. Yeah.
Well, guess what? That's not a big percentage of people in this country
No.
that have done what you've done. Most people
Yeah.
don't get to build a brand new house from the ground up.
No.
So I was handed down their clothes. So I'm wearing their clothes while they're saying
So
it.
you had all the adversity.
I'm wearing Michael's pants as he's telling me.
Yeah.
I would fucking never wear those pants. Go, these were your pants. How do you think I got them from your mom?
All right. We're wrapping it up.